Don't forget to check out and grab your copy of our 2 newly released books, Football, a Love Story, and What Did Football Teach Me? These books feature over 100 stories from current and former coaches, players, executives, and entertainers from across the football landscape, describing what got them involved in the game, what they love about it, and what life lessons the game taught them. You can find your copy or order your copy from our website at footballgameplan.com/books.
Welcome to Football Game Plans Talking with TD. I'm your host, Teron Davenport.
Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I am Teron Davenport, and we are going to continue the Talking with TD series. We're going to talk with a DB. He could play corner, he could play safety. We're going to go to Midwestern State and bring in Marquee Christian. Marquee, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Can't complain. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. I'm always excited to talk shop with DBs. As a receiver, it's something that a former receiver, it's something that
right.
I like to do. Chop it up with you guys. So we'll definitely get into that. Just starting right off the bat. I mean, looking at some of the things that you were able to do at your pro day. On some clocks, you were timed at a 4.3, and then you were timed at a 4.4 going against the wind. What did you want to show the scouts and personnel folks that you're capable of doing at the pro day besides running fast?
I just wanted to show them my quickness, short area quickness, show them I can, my short area quickness and good times in the L drill and the 3-cone. I can show that I can play, corner and down the nickel, just so I can show my versatility. Really what I was trying to do at the pro day with my numbers.
Now, you take the measurables and you transfer them to the football field, and I tell you, the thing that's interesting, whenever I see a guy that's coming from a school that's not an FBS school, I always like to see a guy dominate, and that's
right.
What you were able to do. What is it that allowed you to play with such a reckless style and make the plays that you were able to do when it came to playing in the box and against the passing game?
Man, or a lot to it, to hard work and God just blessed me with the talents and me just, working hard and putting those talents to use with hard work and going out there and just putting the extra hours in, the times we didn't have organized workouts or, guys at home for spring break or, Christmas break, I was at home, getting it in, man, trying to prepare for the season, because, I've been playing this sport since I was 4 years old, so, I kind of been knew this is what I wanted to do. So when I was in college, man, and then already knowing I was on the, sort of at least being at D2, man, I just, just self-motivated to really just get out there and make it happen on my own. So and just having that mindset and translating to the field and my work off the field, just studying, the film, doing all the film work I do, and just really critiquing myself and going out there and translate to the field. I think that's really just what helped me separate myself, dominate.
You mentioned you've been playing the game since a very young age. I think you said 4 years old. What was it that got you started in football? And that being said, how did you end up at Midwestern State?
Well, growing up, where I grew up since I was a little kid, like 2 years old, on the block I stay is like a park right at the end, 2 big football fields, and there was a Pop Warner football team there, Roosevelt the Giants, and I had an older brother 6 years apart from me, so he played also. So, my parents were younger, they'd take us to the park and put us in football, just some extracurricular things to do, inside the inner city just to keep us out of trouble, keep us out of harm's way. So, we did that, Pop Warner football, and, it was just history since then.
And then getting to Midwestern State, how did that come about?
Well, first I went to Chavez High School coming out of middle school, which was more of a inner city high school. So I went there for 3 years, and we really, the scouts wasn't just coming in knocking down the door at the school. We weren't really winning like that either. The program was kind of going down the drain. So after my junior season, kind of knew my head coach was leaving. So, as soon as my junior season was over at Chavez High School, I transferred to Spring High School for my second semester in my junior year. And that's why I finished at Spring High School. So, when I got to Spring High School, it was a better program, more prestigious district I was playing in. So, more scouts were coming in. I was, eligible D1 eligible coming out of high school, just being late in the recruiting process, just being, at spring, having one good season, the tape from Chavez, not really as good as my senior year tape. So it was, just late in the recruiting process and things like that. And then I took the visit to Midwestern, liked it. I just came off undefeated season in 2011, and they were ranked number 1 in D2 after the regular season. So I took the visit and fell in love with it. I had the visit to West Texas the next week. I didn't even take it because Midwestern beat them the week before. So I just took the offer to Midwestern State.
I tell you one thing, because I played Division II football also, and one thing when you commit to football on the D2 level, you truly love the game. You're not playing it for the same reasons that some of your guys at, whether it be at LSU or Texas A&M, whatever. It's different when you're playing at that level. So I commend you for sticking to football and getting to this point. That being said, if you're going to play at D2, you might as well dominate. Go ahead and touch on one of the big accomplishments that you were able to achieve after the 2015 season.
One of the biggest is probably winning the Cliff Harris Award as being the best defensive player in small school, which is D2, D3, NAIA. It was a lot of great guys on the list. A lot of good names I know. And I know starting off it was probably 500 nominees. So I really wasn't even keeping up with it. I didn't even know I was in the semi-round and finals. I didn't even know. I just got a call one morning. They told me I won the Cliff Harris Award, and I couldn't believe it. It was the same one that I got the NFLPA invite, so it was pretty crazy.
That had to have been a good day, and you figure if you're going to do it, you might as well do it big, and that's what you did.
Yeah, man. Oh, yeah, it was a great day.
You mentioned the NFLPA game and that whole week. What were some of the things you were able to take out of that experience, and how do you feel that has prepared you to take this next step?
I think it prepared me well. It was kind of, all the players we were talking, kind of reminds us of like Ricky minicamp. We in a hotel, sharing rooms with guys we don't know. And then we all practicing together on the same team, trying to, prepare like a week of practice to get ready to face another team. And, it was just a great week. We had to be on time to meetings, and we had places to be at certain times, interviews, and gave just a real glimpse of the business side of the life in the NFLPA. The staff did a really good job of having the slideshow seminars at night, every night for us, and just teaching us about just, financing and just how to stay in the league long and take care of your body and things of that nature, just the professional side of being in the NFL. So it helped a lot preparing me for this point.
Yeah, and I'm sure that gave the different people, the shot callers, so to speak, within the league a chance to really get their hands on you and see you up close and personal. So that's definitely a good experience. Now, I've watched your game, and I noticed that there's versatility in that, like I mentioned earlier, you could play single high when you're asked to do that. You could play in the box. But in addition to that, when it comes to laying those hits on ball carriers, man, that's something that you bring to the table. And
right.
I see a nice comparison. I'm going to throw my comparison out, and you could tell me if you feel that is accurate, and also tell me if there's any guys that I don't want to say that you pattern your game after, but that you see similarities as far as on the NFL level. And the person that I'm going to mention is Rodney McLeod. And the reason why I say that is because of that versatility that you bring, and that you could play in the box. You could be used as a nickel guy to cover slot receivers. You could play single high, but the biggest similarity is the hits that you guys both are able to lay on ball carriers. So what do you think of that comparison? And if you have a comparison that you would counter with, I definitely would love to hear it.
Oh, man, that's definitely a great comparison. A guy like him, especially coming off from the Rams, coming in undrafted, special teams guy, and worked his way to the starting role, and now he just got a, fire $30+ million contract. So that's a great comparison, man. Rodney's a great player, but I say another player kind of patterned my game after Earl Thomas, just, playing single high and having that burst to fill the alley and, no extra steps, playing down, covering the corner, slide if I need to, playing single high, range. Just another guy patterned my game after.
And it's interesting because you mentioned the deal of Rodney McLeod guy. You look at Earl Thomas and you look at some of these other safeties. Whether it be Tyshawn Gibson. There's a number of safeties. Eric Weddle, a guy who's already established. There's a number of safeties who were awarded really big contracts. So as a result of that, guess what happens? There's teams who lost players that need to replace them, and I definitely think that you will be a guy that could come in and fill the gap that was created by these guys leaving. So as far as that's concerned, I'm not going to ask you what teams, but how is the interest coming along for you in this process from NFL teams?
It's been good. I had fortunate to go on 5 digits, so that's a blessing in itself. Some guys take none from. Just happy to have a few teams show interest, and just a couple of days just creeping up to the draft, just teams are calling that I didn't visit. I guess just checking out information, making sure they have the right cell number for draft day and things of that nature.
Yeah, and you mentioned McLeod being a guy who was undrafted and he worked his way up. I tell you, in my book, and just kind of looking at the big picture, I don't think a team is going to have the luxury of signing you as an undrafted free agent. They're going to have to draft you at some point. And I think that's just a testament to what you've been able to do coming from the D2 level, and again, when a team gets a guy that comes from a D2 level, there's a different type of mentality. Would you agree that you have kind of that chip on your shoulder as far as being a small school prospect, that you have something to prove?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. It's the same chip I had coming out of high school, like not being able to play D1. That was kind of like the dream before the NFL. It was a step before the NFL, so not being able to play D1 ball, that really what gave me that chip in D2 to do what I did also. So I had that chip on my shoulder all the way to my senior year till to these things started happening for me. So definitely when I go into the NFL, I'm going to have the same chip on my shoulder coming from D2. All these guys coming from D1. And so, it's a challenge, but, I'm ready for it.
I know the physical side of the game. I mean, that's not something you just learn how to do. It's something you either have it or you don't. And again, watching how physical you are, whether it be carrying a tight end or whether it be coming up and blasting a running back, where does that mentality come from? How did you develop that? Because, let's face it, you're not the biggest guy on the football field. You have nice size, don't get me wrong, but you're not the biggest guy on the football field. So what is it that allows you to be the physical player, the dog that you are as a defensive back?
I don't know. I think it's just from, just having heart coming up playing. And then, I don't know, just like when I first put the pads on, it was just like a natural instinct, it's just, I know I got pads on, I'm protected, so, just go all out. It's just, I only know one speed and it's full speed, so just having that mentality and going out there and just, translating the hard work to the field, no other gear but to go full speed, so it's just how I make plays going full speed, and, when you make plays going full speed, good things happen for you.
Yeah, that's it right there in a nutshell. So it's very clear watching you play. You love the game of football. What is it that you love so much about football, and what draws you to the game?
Really, just the competitive nature. Just the preparation. The camaraderie. Being with other guys. Being a team, coming together as one and trying to complete one goal. Some of the things. The passion. Some guys out there, would play if they weren't getting $1 million checks. So, just some of those things really draw me to the game.
Now, when I used to cover the Ravens, one of the things that I talked to John, I asked Coach Harbaugh that same question, and he said that football is a great equalizer, and that it's a way for people of all backgrounds to find a common ground. And he said that's one of the lessons that he learned from football. It helped him to be able to relate to all kinds of people. So just to kind of bring that home with you in conclusion, what would you say is the biggest lesson that you've learned from just the game of football?
Just never giving up and being able to overcome adversity, just being in tough situations. And sometimes you're in situations you're not familiar with and you got to adjust. And, sometimes you're down and you got to pick yourself up. So, it's just really a lot of life lessons in football that taught me growing up, man. It taught me how to, be a man, teach you how to be on time, be presentable. You represent more than yourself. When you go into a college institution or something like that. So, it's really a lot of tools in playing football. Just growing up and just having that just having that camaraderie, teach you social skills. It's just a bunch of things. These are some of the things I learned from, just playing football since I was 4 and all the way to now.
There you have it. The NFL is a passing league. As a result, a big emphasis is placed on defensive backs. Folks, this is a guy that could be playing for your team, and he will have a huge impact. Marquee, I appreciate you coming on. Marquee, Christian, why don't you go ahead and let them know where they can find you on Twitter before you let you go, so they could follow your path. I mean, it's a short path. You got just over a week left, so go ahead and let them know. And it's only starting from there, though. You know that.
Oh yeah, no, most definitely. Twitter @CallMeQ, CallMeQui_.
There you have it. Marquee, I appreciate you, man. We'll definitely get back with you after the draft process is done, and I wish you the best in the next week. And I know that you're going to end up where you should, and you'll take advantage of that situation. Thanks a lot, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you having me.
All right.
That wraps up this edition of Talking with TD. Be sure to check out all of my interview segments at footballgameplan.com/talkingwithtd. If you have any questions or people you want me to sit down with, hit me up on Twitter @TDavenport_NFL.